Hello, hello. How are you? Where are you joining from? Hi again. I feel like now sometimes I start to recognize some of the nicknames, which is cool. Hi. Uh, I'm working on a cardigan, which I actually haven't shared much anywhere else, and I'm basically in between like filming a tutorial and therefore to be able to proceed with the next step on the tutorial I have to do some actual work. That's why I'm just jumping in here, but this is how far I am. It's a little bit clunky, but you can see it here. I have finished like main body part as well as one sleeve already, and it looks like this. And now I'm just working on this other sleeve. I started it like maybe 1 hour ago, and maybe I just got a little bored sitting alone at my TV, so I thought I can also just do it here. But I'm changing color every 3 rows, and now I'm 1.5 rows in having this green. So I think I will finish that, and then I will show you guys how it actually looks so far. Thanks. But yeah, I'm hoping to finish this tutorial sometime in like early next week, so then it can go live on Friday, hopefully. I don't know. It's taking quite a lot of time, and yeah, I feel like my hands are starting to hurt a little bit, and that's not great. But yeah, I'm glad that you like it, because like these two colors, they are totally random, and I'm just trying to get rid of all the yarn that I have. And they are like, these colors are basically from the same material, and I tried to figure out how I can combine them both, and I wasn't sure that if this will be a good combo, like the green and blue, but I think it's actually quite nice. Like, it looks better than I thought that it will, and seems like many people are also saying that it's nice, so yeah. And now this is, I think this is 4th day in a row that I'm working on this, and in between I also have other projects, so I feel like it's progressing quite fast. And I also feel like I will finish this project and then maybe I will slow down, because I have one cardigan that I already started like months and months ago, and it's still not finished, and there are some things like tiny bits that need to be finalized, like adding some hooks and borders and so on. And then I have another sweater that is almost also finished, and I feel like I've been working on so many projects right now that maybe I will just need to take a little break and figure out something else, or just work on like smaller projects, because this is like, it's a lot of work to finish a cardigan, for example. So yeah, but we'll see. I always think like that and then it goes totally other direction. And I'm almost done with this third row, so I will just show you in a second how it looks. Final stitches. I will just quickly start the new one because I feel like that's the tricky part, not to lose the end. Okay, one more stitch and then I will show. Okay, let's try it on. Hi, thank you so much. So maybe it helps if I stand up. So this is how far we are. So this is the finished sleeve already, and today I also added the cuff here, and now we are on this sleeve which I started not too long ago. And the plan is just to build it in the same length, and it would be great if I can manage to do it by tomorrow, or yeah, basically end of today. Let's see, because in total I have to do 34 rows, which is quite a lot, I think. And now we are just in 9, 10, so 24 more rows to go, but they are kind of like short rows, so it kind of goes fast, but yeah, it's also quite a lot. And what I'm also hoping that will be fine is that I only have this much of this blue, and yeah, still a lot to do. But I think it will be fine. Like what I normally do when I feel like I'm running out of yarn, I actually weight it, so I'm able to like calculate how much I have used and how much is still left and how much I would be able to do from the remaining yarn. And I was like putting it on my kitchen scale, and I think we are good. And we might even have some leftovers, but we'll see about it. And there's like a cool feature where you can ask like a question, so I will just try it out. I'm not sure how I can just move it to someplace else. Okay, got it. I'm currently working on a raglan cardigan, which looks like this so far, and I'm trying it on after every 3 rows because that's when I'm changing the color. So I just started with this blue, so in 3 rows I will show you again how it looks. But yeah, I think this feature with the questions are quite fun. So let me know what is your current work in progress project, if you have one, or if you're even into crochet. Nice, that's cute. Yeah, I've been hearing from quite a lot of people that are working on blankets, and I feel like it's always super impressive because that's a big project to be working on. I had some other people who joined before during previous streams, and they were also like working on a granny square blanket, and that requires a lot of granny squares. There was one person who said that they have to make like 75 squares in total, because that was a baby blanket, so also a little bit smaller. Oh, and the butterfly top, that sounds very cute. I think I've seen something like that circling around. Yeah, and I think ponchos right now, they are so popular. Everyone is making them, and I'm seeing so many different versions of them, and I think it's actually like such a nice kind of like an accessory that you can wear together with so many different things and like style it in different ways. That's nice. I'm thinking of making one as well, kind of like very mesh and in a neutral color, so it like either white or black or something beige, I don't know, because then it can be worn together with many things, and maybe to add in some beads as well. But I'm actually struggling to find beads that would be like would have like a thick enough hole that I can actually use them with my crochet hook, and I haven't figured where to find them. And I once saw something online, but I was too lazy to order, and I didn't understand how many exactly I would get, so then I just forgot about it. I actually have made some dresses. I made one which was a filet crochet dress, which I thought that I might wear for my wedding day, but at the end I didn't. But I do have like I posted some vlogs of how I made it, like documented the whole process, so I still have those videos on my channel as well. And then I have also made a halter dress, and I made actually 2 versions of it. One was just a regular one, and then another one was with the dragonflies here. So I have a tutorial for that as well if you're looking for something. It's on my channel. I see. That's a great idea. But yeah, that's a crazy project. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's always super impressive that people start them, or like, yeah, when people are working them and actually finishing them, it's crazy impressive. But super great, and I think it's so fun with like incorporating different granny squares. I'm not sure what exactly you mean by crochet catalog. Oh, you mean like patterns or? depends what kind of cardigan exactly, but I have quite a few cardigan patterns on my channel. If you're thinking about this one exactly, I haven't made a pattern yet. It's at the moment it's just in my head and I'm trying to make it come to life, so that will come later. Net for I need help to make a net for a shoulder bag. You mean inside the shoulder bag or? Don't worry about messing up. I think it's part of the process when learning something. But I also feel like baby gloves or mittens would be very tiny, and then sometimes it's also tricky to like work on very small project. So don't worry about it. It's just part of the process. Like I also make a lot of mistakes. If anyone joined my previous stream where I was actually also working on mittens, I ended up frogging quite a few times just because I missed a stitch and missed the count. And yeah, so that happens to the best of us. And I'm starting on the third row with this blue, so after this we will try it on. I'm crocheting a cardigan basically. I will show in a second. I just need to finish this row. I think 2 more minutes, then I will try it on again. I understand there might be some people who are joining in just now, so I'll make sure to show it. My next project, I'm not sure yet. I kind of want to finish this one. Then I have another cardigan, which I also have to finish, because I can actually show it in a second as well. I just have to go and grab it. But for that one, I just have to add borders and some nice touches and add in some hooks and so on. So I can actually close it. I still haven't done that. And then I have another sweater, which I also have to finish. And after that, I haven't really figured out what I would like to make, but I want to make something that is more mesh, or I was also looking at this pineapple stitch, which I want to try out and perhaps make like also a cardigan or a sweater or something like that. But I have to figure out some things first and how it would look, but yeah. All right, I finished this stitch just now, or this row. I will just switch colors and then I will go grab that cardigan that I just mentioned, and I will show you how this one is looking so far, and then I will also show you the other one that I still have to finish. Okay, I just changed the color, and let me go and grab those things and then I will show you. Okay, I'm back. And let's first try on this one. And I see there is a question how many years I've been crocheting, and I think it's hard for me to tell because during I was actually looking through my previous videos or very first videos to figure out when was the first one, and I saw that the first one that I had published was actually around 4 years ago, but back then I wasn't like crocheting as much as I am now, so I would say I started 4 or 5 years ago, but I've been more focused on it for the past 2-3 years, I think. Where is this? Okay, let me show you. So now I added 3 more rows and I'm reaching this part here, but still quite a lot of work to do. But now let me also show you the other ones. So I mentioned this cardigan. If you follow me on Instagram, maybe you have seen it, that I've been sharing it on my stories a couple of times, but I still have to, let me put it on. It's a similar type or similar style, but slightly different. So this one actually has a closing here, and what is left for me to do is basically to add some sort of border around the cuffs here and also at the bottom, and something also here, and then I have to figure out how I want to close it, and I figured that easiest option for me would be to add those tiny hooks, or I also tried to look for some fancier closing options, but I couldn't find anything. Everything has to be ordered online, and I'm sometimes a little bit lazy with ordering such things online, but I think this is cute as well, so still have to finish it. And then I also recently finished this sweater, which I will also try on. It's kind of finished, but it still has some things that I have to adjust. And wait, before I put it on, this is how it looks. It's also a raglan type where you just work from top down and then finish everything. And also for this one, what is left for me to do is add borders here and here, and I figured that for these sleeves I have to make them a little bit longer, because initially I thought that I will be just making them like adding cuffs similar as here, but then I figured that I actually want to leave them like wider like this, so therefore they seem to be a little bit short now, and I just want to add a little bit more length, and then to add some sort of like elastic in here so it goes like, so it's not that loose, and I can also adjust it and it somehow stays. I hope this makes sense. Nice. I will try to share those soon, because I've been taking photos of the pattern, and yeah, I'll try to share them. But now let's continue with this. But yeah, I have a lot of work in progress, bigger projects that I haven't really shared with anyone, and I don't know why, and I haven't found time to finish them completely. And yeah, what kind of yarn I'm using? This is like a acrylic and wool blend, and it's not even like a proper brand, because my mom, she just bought it from like a grocery store, regular grocery store, and I got some yarn in my mouth, and it was just discounted, and yeah, that's why she bought it. And she only got like, she got three pieces or three skeins of this green and 2 of blue, and that's why I was very limited of what I can actually do with it, and I wasn't sure if I will have enough, but seems like it will be just enough. And then for the others, this is also some sort of wool blend. I'm not sure exactly what is the percentage, but there's definitely some wool, and I think it's a different type of wool, because I can feel it's more like it bites me my skin a little bit. And then this one is also acrylic, wool, and mohair, something like that. But mostly, like, I'm using this much wool just because I'm trying to get rid of all my yarn stash, just to clean out my apartment a little bit, because otherwise it's too much. But normally I just use cotton. That's my go-to, actually, and I use that together with like 3 or 3.5 millimeter hook, because it's not that often that I work on like wintry sweaters. I mostly make, like, if I look back on what I have created, I make either like mesh or like looser look sweaters, or some summer tops or things like that. But yeah, now I feel like it also depends on the season that it is, because sometimes I change it. For borders, I'm not sure if I will have time to show it now, because I still have to get to those borders. But for this, since I'm filming tutorial, I will include how to add like how to add these hems. I actually already have some tutorial on my channel for hems and cuffs specifically. And then for this one, I will also make sure that I'm filming how to add borders. And I guess for this, since I'm not filming a video for that, I will just have to include it in the pattern itself. But I think, like, in general, like, if you're looking just for like a general border, like, you can have a look at what is already available on my channel, because if there is like any top or cardigan that I already have there, and if it has a border, then it also has an explanation included of how you can do that. So it depends on what kind of border exactly you're looking for. And I'm quite excited to already finish 3 with this color. Itchy. Thank you. I'm super glad to hear that. I really appreciate when people are actually also sharing that and saying that it's helpful. Thank you so much. Yeah, because that's my main aim, basically, to make sure that I'm creating content that people can learn from and benefit from. And then it's really nice to hear that you actually managed to learn a lot. Borders with slip stitch. Yeah, slip stitches are sometimes a little bit tricky, but I don't know what to suggest even. Maybe you can try to use a hook that is one size up or down, because sometimes it depends on the stitch. I sometimes find that, like for example, when connecting something together, sometimes it helps if you choose a different hook. Maybe it's hard for me to say without like having an actual example. Sorry about that. And hello, hello. Alright, we will be 2 rows down. I'm just about to start the third one with this green. And after this, I will show you again. I'm so happy how fast this is growing. Maybe we will manage. Because sometimes when I'm filming tutorials for things like this, for example, the tutorial, like when it's already 20-30 minutes, I feel like, oh my god, this is so much time, and I'm not sure if people, like sometimes I feel like people might freak out if they see that video is half an hour long. But when I think about it, that to make, for example, this cardigan, I have so far, I think I have spent like at least 10 hours, I would say, minimum. I'm not sure, I haven't like measured how much exactly, but like if then the tutorial is 30-40 minutes, sometimes I'm just concerned that maybe people don't want to watch them just because it appears that they are long. But the main reason why they are so long is because I'm trying to explain a lot of different things. But yeah, sometimes it's just funny that it takes me 30 minutes to record and explain the whole thing, but then behind the scenes I'm actually working like multiple hours. Hello. Nice to see that people are still joining in. I'll take off my watch actually. I have also noticed. What does that mean? I have noticed when I'm wearing my watch and when I'm crocheting, it counts it as an exercise. Safa. I have no idea what it means. Bye bye. Alright, we are 3 rows down again. Let me change color and I will show you. Okay, I'll try it on in a second. Not sure we will be able to see like major difference, but I just want to keep on showing the progress. Okay, so yeah, now it's hard to say or tell that something has been added, but we are getting there slowly. And I actually forgot to show you another work in progress that I have, which is this mitten, and I started to work on it, or I worked on it during the live streams that I had before. And during one of the other live streams that I had, someone posted a suggestion to make it like a glow where you can remove. So this is what I've been working on, and at the moment the thumb is a little bit funky, so I think I will redo it so you can take it off like from someplace here. But that's what I also have to finish and make the second one and make sure that it's the same size as the other one, so they are matching. And I think I will add 3 more rows of blue and then 3 more of green, and maybe that will be enough for today. I don't know, we'll see. It's been 40 minutes, so I'm just wondering if 20 minutes would be enough to do 6 rows in total. Let's find out. Nice. Thank you for staying here. I have actually never tried Tunisian type of crochet, but I'm always curious. Like, I've seen some like reels and shorts and things like that, and it's very satisfying to look at someone working on those stitches. But I guess it's very similar to, or kind of similar to, yeah, basically in between crochet and knitting. At least that's how I understand it. But I haven't tried. Yeah, I will try sometime soon. What would you suggest as like the first project in this technique? Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. I think for most like crochet or knit, that's also the first project I would suggest someone. But I'll try. First, I have to get the needles or hooks. And I just got this. I always get so annoyed when I get them. But I feel like it's better to cut it out and then reattach because it just doesn't look pretty. And I'm not sure if I can trust that knot. That's why I always cut them out, especially when they are not like fitting nicely with my stitches or like naturally don't hide in the back. Then I think it's just better to do it on my own. But I once had a yarn skein where I had like 3 knots in it. That's just mean. What is going on? Yeah, I think it's better. It's twisting all the way around. I always find it like as the project the project grows, and especially when working on sleeves, they always get like twisted all up. But now the second row with blue is done, so one more, then we will check in on the fitting again. if it's noticeable, all the work that I'm doing. And like so far it seems like it's taking me 10 minutes to do 3 rows. It's just that I can see the timer of the stream. Yeah, like you constantly have to like spin the project to make it untie. And yeah, also when I'm like filming tutorial on how to do it, it's like so hard to manage the project. Because like, oh no, let's turn our work, and I'm like trying to flip it in a way that like it still makes sense in the video that I'm doing. And like there's like limited space on my table and in between camera and my hands, and like the camera cannot capture everything as well, so it's kind of like what is going on. And just finishing the third. Okay, let's change color and I will show it to you. Yes, exactly. It was fun when I was working also on a scarf, because yeah, I just made a silly video, but I could basically wear the scarf as I was adding new rows, but it doesn't really apply when you're working on a cardigan. Okay, let's check fitting. Okay. So it somehow still seems like nothing has happened, but here we are. And let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 more times of blue that is needed. I'm just worried because there isn't much, but I think it will be just enough. Thank you. Glad to hear. Yeah, it was totally random color choice. It wasn't even my choice. I'm just trying to use it. Okay, let's do 3 more. Yeah, I hope so too, because like I actually was a little bit worried, and I was considering that maybe I can do both arms simultaneously and then skip between each other, but then I figured like the safe option that I did was that, like, I'm not sure how familiar you are with raglans, but here I could have, I will quickly show because it's quite good tip as well, and maybe I will show with the other project as well. Like, I was supposed to start working on this sleeve from this point, but I felt like it would be quite wide sleeve, which is fine of course, but then I thought, like, since I have to save yarn, I can just make them more fitted for myself, and therefore I closed it up a little bit. Yeah, I closed up here, and then I started with the sleeve actually from this point, and in that way I'm I'm trying to save yarn, and it's also like more fitted instead of having loose look. And I also did the same with this cardigan. So the sleeve would have supposed to start from here actually. Yeah, and that would have been like a very wide one, and I had the same problem that I have limited amount of yarn. I have no possibility to actually purchase more of the same colors because they just probably don't exist anymore. And yeah, so I just moved it up here, and in that way I was able to manage to finish it, and I also still have some leftovers of that yarn, which is perfect. Yeah, then I see, but it's still, I feel like it still fits, and I don't know. Yeah, I could, like, other option would have been to just adjust it, like tighten it as you go down. Yeah, so that's another thing. Hello, hello. Yeah. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining. Glad to hear that you enjoy my content. Um, for the armholes, for this in particular, I was just measuring. I will show you in a second when I finish this row. But basically, when you're working on raglan type of sweater or project or cardigan or whatever, you're making basically kind of like a square by adding extra rounds, and then when you try it on, you can um, measure the fitting, and that's how I did it. I will show you just in a second. I will place in a stitch marker. So I think maybe this project is easiest. And also, just as a reminder, this is raglan, so different type, and you would start this project from the top, and then you would work in kind of like in circles to go around that square. And in the very beginning you just have like a square with a hole in it, and you can put that hole over your head, and then it basically falls over your shoulders. So it would be just like a square that ends here and then also on your back, and then I would just measure here if it fits around my armpit. And in this case I went for like a looser look, and therefore I also have looser arms and looser body part fitting here. But basically I would just measure it by making sure that those two corners meet underneath my armpit here, and then you can also adjust the fitting as you want. And as I explained before, you can adjust the fitting of the sleeves if it's necessary, but that's of course optional, and it depends on if you're going for a looser look or not, or whatever your preference is for like a specific project. Yeah, I think it also depends on the project itself. For example, if you're working on a project where you have to first make all the panels and then connect them together afterwards, then you can kind of like measure it also just by fitting. And I first normally just start by connecting front and back panels together, and then naturally you also have to leave some space for the sleeves. So normally when I connect front and back panels, I do it first in the shoulder part, so you can measure where your head is supposed to be going through, so it actually fits and so on. And then you can kind of wear it on, and you can also like measure it as it is on, and then you can see where you should be starting to connect like the sides of the front and back panels. So that's easy way how to measure it. That's how I normally do it. I try it on, and most of my projects are made to measure, because I feel like I trust that more. And even like if I was following a project like as it's written and everything else, I would still be trying it on just to see if something changes. And thank you so much, crochet lady, for the compliment. And it's actually been a while since I've made something with where I have to make panels, but I think it's because I kind of got hooked on making raglan creations where you just work everything from top down, and then you don't really have to connect anything, because everything is already connected together, which is, I think, a nice part of it, and you don't have to worry about that part later. Yeah, I hope it's helpful and helpful tips. But yeah, just feel free to ask if there is anything else. Yeah, that's good, like the good side of panels. Then it's easier. That's true. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Like now, if I had to carry this, I would probably need like just an extra bag for this project alone. That's a very good point, actually. And I'm finishing second row, so one more row, and then I will have a little break, and maybe we'll get back to this later. But before I go, I will still finish this third one and I will show you how it looks. And then hopefully I will be able to do or film the rest of the tutorial tomorrow, and then hopefully I will be able to share it with you end of week next week. I hope, at least. Final stitches. Okay, just changing color for one last time here, and I will then show you. I feel like I've added, I think I added like 12 rows together with you. I'm not sure, maybe even more, but it also feels like it hasn't really grown in size. Oh my god. Yay, nice. Hope. I'm glad to hear that you managed to join, even though I'm planning to just finish in a second, but I have recently started to do it a little bit more often, so I'm sure that there will be more. And on my channel I have actually scheduled a couple of streams in for next week, so you can click the notification bell so you get a notification next time when I'm live. But sometimes I think it's easier for me, especially in this format, it's easier for me to just do it randomly instead of prepare it in advance, but I'll figure it out eventually. And I'm trying to figure out how to make this more fun and more engaging for others. Yeah, maybe we can do some quiz sometime, I don't know. But here I finished these 3, so let's check it out, how it fits. So hopefully we can see some progress now. And now it's almost over, or yeah, it's basically over my elbow right now. And then we just have to add, starting from here, all these rows. I'm not sure I will be able to do it tonight because it's already 9:30 for me, but maybe I will. But yeah, I really want to finish this tutorial or filming it tomorrow or day after, and then also have some time for actually editing the video, uploading and scheduling, and also writing some pattern, because yeah, I want to make a pattern for it so people can have it also as a written version. But anyway, thank you guys for joining here. If you are interested in more streams, then just let me know, and as I said, I have some more that are scheduled on my channel already, so yeah, just have a look and join if you can for those. But otherwise I will also try to do something randomly at some point soon. And yeah, if you are new here to my channel, then just remember that you can subscribe, and if you enjoy my content, then give me thumbs up where possible. And I have also recently created like a membership page where you can also join, and then you get some member benefits such as like emojis and early access to some of my videos. And later on I will also be doing like members only live streams and members only videos and so on. But yeah, check it out, because yeah, if you can, then I would appreciate your support. But thanks for joining today. I hope you enjoyed, I hope you had fun. I did. I managed to crochet a lot, so that's always great. But yeah, thanks, bye.